Hello everyone, my name is Siqi and I'm very happy to be here to talk about my project. When we hear about anyone with bad habits, we are always unconsciously in a mindset of bystanders. But in fact, bad habits are very close to us. Bad habits are like an infinite game of pleasure, allowing people to sink deeper into a black hole voluntarily. Each generation has its own troubles that may seem different but are universal. I want to help people solve their troubles through design. The data shows that in this year of viral pandemic, geopolitical conflict, and unemployment shocks, we are more willing than any previous generation to mitigate loss and anxiety with short-lived instant gratification and self-reward. The Mental Health Foundation shows that when stress is present in our life, everyone copes with worry in their way. Some of these ways can form bad habits that distract us from anxiety. There are two types of bad habits. The first is caused by external facts such as smoking, drinking, and overeating. Most of these habits can directly damage people's health. Internal facts cause the second type. Stress and anxiety problems are relieved by behaviors such as nail biting and staying up late. This habit is also the most common one. In a global cross-sectional survey, young people are more likely to feel anxious than other age groups and are most likely to pick up bad habits. Research shows that young people were most concerned about correcting bad habits at the time of a pandemic. Meanwhile, the Office of National States found that the prevalence of moderate or severe depression symptoms among UK adults increased after the outbreak. In terms of age, 80 to 25 years old tend to avoid mistakes and choose more enjoyable lifestyle. This also leads to them being more likely to adopt bad habits due to the lack of parental supervision. I have therefore decided to focus my target group on 80 to 30. Next, I invited 3 friends to brainstorm with me, and we listed the type of bad habits and possible solutions. Combining these two, we recorded the appropriate stakeholders. I divided the user into 4 categories and contacted them through emails, questionnaires, and discussion groups. Then I created an engagement tool. In the first step, I gave respondents backgrounds to the project and asked them to fill in a questionnaire about their bad habits. I asked them to choose pictures representing their anxieties in the second step. In the third step, I would ask them to draw an emoji representing their mood after the bad habits happened. I invited 6 age-appropriate participants. They told me about their bad habits and their experiments in correcting them. At the end of the interview, they also gave me some inspiration and helpful advice. Afterwards, I discovered that they usually show their anxiety by stretching their skin and shaking their legs. They both try to correct their bad habits, but basically they end up falling. Bad habits are like barbs, demons, and black holes in their eyes. Although they did not hurt them directly, they were deeply affected and could not get rid of them. In the final session, they generally agreed that it is difficult for people to realize the existence of a bad habit until they understand it affects them. So, why do people appear to bite their fingers and poke the skin when they feel stressed or bored? And how does this behavior develop into a habit? I have discovered skin picking disorder, which is a repetitive body-centered behavior. People who suffer from this disorder are relatively young. They all pick up their face, arms, and hands. The resulting physical damage includes skin discoloration, infection, and several skin tumors. Research shows that skin picking disorder and anxiety has a strong association. 4% of people worldwide suffer from the condition. Repetitive behavior is all part of anxiety disorder, but in post-epidemic, the modern neglect of mental health is severe. Although skin picking disorder does not appear to be serious, it is closely linked to psychological anxiety and some physical disorders. This is something that we cannot ignore. To find out more, I invite 4 people with picking disorder to participate in the cultural props. I set up a chat group to record when, where, and how often their bad habits occur. To protect their privacy, I used anonymity to conduct the interview. Afterwards, I found they usually happen in a private space and were very personal. Before they happened, they were experiencing anxiety issues such as walking, study, waiting. Most of the skin-picking disorder problems and anxiety occurred at night. After the incident, they felt remorseful about the skin damage or embarrassed when their friends asked them why they were injured. According to the results, I come up with a persona. I set up a character named Siqi, who is often anxious and stressed and will bite her finger and peel her hair when he was feeling anxious. She chooses a safe environment to avoid embarrassment when bad habits occur. She wants to correct her bad habits very much and has made many attempts, but all failed. So, how might we help her? After research, I found 3 ways to correct bad habits. All 3 methods were very effective, but the study showed that monitoring was the most effective way. Does these methods work for skin picking disorder? During the impact analysis, I found that the UK government has taken mental health issues more seriously in recent years and put effort to provide online service. Some medical organization has also concerned about young people's mental health. The International OCD Foundation has recommended several support groups about skin picking disorder to me. Non-profit support groups such as the Pick Me Club work with people suffering from skin picking disorders. I also interviewed a participant who has successfully overcome skin picking and found that his method was substitution. To better know about this, I joined the support group. The support group will be divided into 4 stages. We will introduce each other to share conditions, solutions, and set a short-term goal. During the chat, I learned about the effect of skin picking disorder on people with wounds and low self-esteem because of their broken skin. I also learned that the most important thing is to love yourself and be optimistic about facing your problems. Then I make an empathy map to put myself into the user's perspective to think what they really want. To help them better, I contact the psychologist Naomi. I learned that the most effective methods are CBT and virtual reality, which expose patients to insecurities by countering stress and encouraging them to confront their problems rather than actively avoiding them. At the same time, anxious patients have difficulty describing their condition correctly. Encouraging users to document or use art therapy would better facilitate the doctors' and patients' communication. After carrying out secondary research, I found that the 3 methods could be connected. Users can express their anxiety through art therapy, using images to visualize their concepts, expose their problems, and encourage them to confront their stress. In CBT therapy, drawing can be used as a diary, while users use images to record their daily emotions, while the pictures can also better express the user's emotions and facilitate the patient's-doctor communication. During the case study, I found that a tangible, playable stress relief toy would be a good idea. It can replace the skin intake damage and ease the user's skin picking symptoms. Then I set up my inside journey map. I want to make the user more aware of the skin picking disorder by setting weekly goals. At the same time, I will replace the patient's skin with stress relieving toy. For communication between the patients and the doctor and self-tracking, I want to link the stress visualizing to the stress relieving toy. The app creates different images based on tracking the pressure falls on the decompressed toy. The app also has a social function, so users can encourage each other and consult professionals online. I invited several users with picking problems to participate in an online focus group. I asked them to describe their anxiety issue and draw a shape to represent their anxiety. Also draw a way they want to destroy it. Combining the results, I come up with my graphic. Next, I made the prototype of the decompression toy in clay. I took these models out into the street looking for users to touch and make a choice. In the end, many people choose these 2 shapes. The soft, smooth surface felt comfortable to them and soothed their thumbs, and it would have been better if it more conformed to the curve of their hands. The shape with lots of bumps is good for massaging the hand to improve circulation and would be more fun if it were peelable. I have modified the model according to their suggestions. The app prototype was created to record and visualize users' anxiety. When the anxiety level is low, the user presses the toy less forcefully and shows a happy image. When the anxious is average, the user presses moderately and a normal emotion is shown on the screen. When the stage is severe, the user presses the toy harder and the feeling is recorded as unhappy. This data and the image are recorded in the app as evidence of the user's self-monitoring and communication with their doctor. When users feel anxious and start picking, they can take the damage with the stress-reducing toy instead of their skin. When the stress relief toy is pressed, their stress data is recorded in the app as a graphic. Next, I will present my output. A new habit will be developed in 4 weeks, so I created 4 desk cards for users to set a small goal per week. The hard surface and the metal material massage the user's skin while speckles gradually fall from the friction, giving the user the feeling of a skin blemish peeling away. The smooth, soft surface replaces user's skin, relieving pressure by kneading and slitting hard. The app automatically records when a squeeze occurs. Selective participation events can also be viewed in the app. I use Touch Designer to create a virtual pressure diary that can choose the images changing depending on the pressure's intensity. The higher the pressure, the more complex the photo appears. I introduced my project to the interviewees. Most of them thought it would improve their skin picking habits, but also raised some suggestions. I made modifications based on their implications. In the future, I hope to join forces with several medical organizations. I will look at more areas to adapt these products to more contexts of use and help more people struggling with anxiety. Thank you for watching, and thank you for those who participate in my project.